Hi, Tanya here, or otherwise known as Mrs. Menopause. How you doing? So one of the biggest things I get asked a lot with the symptoms of menopause is, what do we do about the weight gain? You know, where's my waist gone? Why have I put on all this weight? What happens? And there are many reasons for the weight gain during as we get older and during change, and it's to do with the changes in our body and to do with the changes in the balance of our hormones. So what happens is our ovaries actually stop making as much estrogen, and what other parts of our body have to make up for that. Our adrenal glands make the estrogen, and also what happens is we make one of the types of estrogen in our body fat. So our body actually wants us to hold on to some body fat because it's actually producing our estrogen, and we want estrogen. Estrogen is our juicy hormone. It keeps us young, it keeps us vibrant, it is kind of the hormone of youth. So that's kind of why we want to hang on to it as much as we can, right? So that's why our body does that. And also what happens is, as we go through the menopause, we become more insulin resistant. And we can't tolerate carbohydrates as much. So the diet you were eating in your 20s and 30s is not going to work as we get older. So what we have to do is tweak. We have to become a bit of a detective and tweak a little bit with how many carbohydrates. Now, I'm not saying go low carbohydrate at all, because one, that'll make you moody. You know, it really affects your mood. And in the long run, it's not going to make that much difference. Yes, you might get a short weight loss, but that won't last, and we want some longevity. So I would suggest, forget any diets. I would suggest having a tweak and a play in with your portion sizes, particularly of starchy carbohydrates. And by that I mean things like the breads and the pasta and the potatoes, that kind of thing. That's the stuff you really want to start to really reduce down. And the thing is, I can't give you an answer how much you should be eating. What we have to do is be a bit of a detective. We have to kind of work out what works best for us. And the way I do that is something that was shared with me, is to go about how hungry you are, how much energy you have, and how your cravings are. And once you start getting your food in balance, those three things should feel like they're in balance too. So it's worth playing around with those. And I'm going to explain more about that in another video. So, and also what happens as we go through the menopause is we tend to lose, unless we're training with weights or body weight training, we lose our muscle mass. And the more muscle mass we have, the higher our metabolism is. So it's really important as we get older to do resistance type training. So that's things like going to the gym, maybe, if you can, and pick up some weights, heavy weights, and work out like that. Body weight stuff is good too, but you want to do exercises that use all your major big muscle groups, and we want to keep your muscle density or add to it. You know, weight training without doubt is the best way to keep in shape any time in your life, but particularly when we're going through the menopause. Don't be scared, get a trainer, I'd say, and start lifting those weights. It really, really will make a difference. And reducing your cardio a little bit and adding more resistance training, if you tip that, that would make a big difference too. So there's some tips there. So check out your portion sizes, check out your carbohydrate portions as well. Do some resistance training, and those kind of things are going to really help with that menopausal weight gain. Also, what you could do as well, if you reduce stress, stress increases the fat that sits around our middle, because that fat around our middle is very cortisol sensitive, and the more stress we have, the fatter it makes us around the middle, which is where people say we lose our waist, or we get this muffin top. So stress reduction is also very important. So you can see it's not just one thing. It's not just about dieting as we're getting older. It's about lifestyle, dieting, and just being a little bit more savvy, a little bit more switched on, and you don't have to pile on loads of weight. I hope that's been helpful for you today. Cheers.